There we go. Barbara Dolores is first. Good to see you. Yeah. Lakeista is second. Janet, give you love. Hope you are doing well. Bunny is on from Lake Burton. Jacqueline Jones White. Tennille is on. Hello. Alfonso, hola. Dolores Simmons, good evening to you. Bernice, all the way from Washington State. MG Steele, good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Trish Howard is on today. Good evening to you. And Mary Allen, thank you from Washington State. Bernice is in Washington State too. Amanda, hello. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Good to see Mama Charlotte on as well. And Bunny, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Gernisa is on. E. Joyce Paris is on with us every single Friday night. And Daviana, hey Daviana, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad to see you. Good to see Cynthia Smalls on with us. Lita, good to see Lita joining us on this Friday night. Toinette Pelote, good evening to you. Stony! Well, I'm going to give some love to Stony because y'all give some love to Stony. Stony's trying to do better, y'all. So, we're going to let Stony do better. So, Stony's been back in the spot. Brother Carlos Baker, hey, man, look. I need to talk to you. I got to ask you something, so you need to holler at me when you get a chance. All right? Joycette, good to see Joycette. Joycette, I called you Wednesday. You hadn't called me back, so what's up with that? Hey, Latasha Jarrett. Oh, yeah, good to see you. Vanessa Taylor, good to see you as well. And of course, Brother Alan Wright, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being here with us. Erica is on with us. Hey, Erica. And good to see Mama Julia Carter on. And I'm giving her love because that's what we do. Good to see you. And Stony is sending out love to everybody. Joanne is on. Jean Coleman is on. Jim is on. Hello. Thank you, Jeanette. Jeanette, I appreciate that. Mary Arby is on with us, and thank you so much. I'll tell you about what I was doing in a minute. Ernestine is on. And Christina Michelle, thank you for joining us. Hello. Sarita Johnson is on. Hello. And thank you so much. Gloria Wells, thank you for joining us. Patricia Johnson is on. Hello. And thank you. I am dressed up. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Sophia Perry, good to see you. And then, of course, the Spencer Ellis White III is in as well. And Joyce said, I called you from the office phone, but I left a number. So I left a number and you didn't answer. Linda Kelly is on with us all the way from Reno, Nevada. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. And Andre, good to see you. I appreciate it. Love you too. Thank you so much for who you are and all you do for us. Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday, July the 5th, 2024, the day after our nation's 284th birthday or something like that. So thank you. Good to see all of you. And thank you for joining us. Let me get my stuff together. As you could tell, I'm a little bit on location today. Good to see Michelle and Mr. Bill on, asking a lot of questions, but I'm going to tell you what the answers are in just a minute. I am outside today. I am being grown. Angie Scott from the DMV is here, as well as Josie Jones. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Faye Law is on with us. Rita Good to see you, Rita. Hope you're doing well. Um, so, Faye, is somebody with you or are you like by yourself? I'm just wondering. Patricia, I think Max is doing okay. Last time I talked to Mama, and I'm trying to get up there to see Max soon. Good to see Miss Marianne Goldwhite. Hope you're doing well. Uh, and the apostle herself, Van Marie Green, is in the house. Good to see you, ma'am. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Barbara Foster, for joining us. Happy Friday to you. I'm trying to get down. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Barbara Dolores. Thank you, Miss Alverna Campbell. Alverna is my second favorite Campbell. She knows who my number one favorite Campbell is. So, Perlette, good to see you. And Faye says, my friend is with you. So, I'm waving at you. You know who you are, right? Right? You know I'm waving at you. So, I'm waving at my good friend. Aviana. Right, let me see. I'm trying to kind of get down. The working with the laptop is a little different. And thank you so much, Linda Kelly. Rachel, hey Rachel, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. And okay, so Barbara says that Mother Sadie Campbell and her girls are hanging out tonight. Now, we know, everybody knows we love Mother Sadie Campbell. We love Mother Sadie Campbell, who always keeps it 100 because 99 and a half won't do. And I hope, Mama Sadie, those girls are not slowing you down tonight, okay? You know, those old ladies you hanging with, Mama Sadie. So if they getting in your way, Barbara and Alberta and all them, put them to the side, okay? You know, don't let them slow you down. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Gloria. Hey, good to see Brother Willie Jones, Reverend Willie Jones. Good to see you, sir. And Pastor Thurman N. Tillman, pastor of the First African Baptist Church. Let me tell you why I appreciate Pastor and First Lady Tillman, because I knew something last week that y'all did not know. Now, y'all know last week I was at somebody else's, or I was at Earlene Davis's retirement, and I was emceeing it, so I couldn't leave. But when Pastor and Sister Tillman chimed into Friday Night Live, they were in Africa. They were in Ghana. See, that's that dedication, right? That was the dedication. They were in Ghana, and they were still in on Friday Night Live. And it must have been about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for them to be on Friday Night Live. So I appreciate that. Hey, Chrisone Whitehead, baby doll is what we called her at the hall. Good to see you. Long time no hear nor see. Chrisone was the girl that everybody wanted to be with in high school. She was captain of the cheerleading team, and she was pretty, and she was cute, and she was smart, and her birthday was one day after mine. You know, and so, you know, none of us were ever good enough for her. And she's still a superstar. But good to see you, Sean. Hope you're doing well. Brother Keith Kimball, good to see you as well. Elizabeth Clark is on. And Aviana says she likes my black. See? All right. That's what I'm talking about. And today is Sandra Smith's birthday. Happy birthday, Sandra. Happy, 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 happy birthday. I'm going to give you some love because it is your birthday. David Minkowitz is on as well. Felicia has joined us as well. And Patricia sending out love too. Now all the Campbell girls are all out there now. Everybody trying to jump up, trying to love on their mama more. Thank you, Shauna Kitty. I appreciate you. And good to see our coroner on, David Campbell and his wife, Queen Dot Campbell. Good to see you all. Thank you for joining us as well. Hey, Lam Hong, evening to you. Let me see. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. All right, yeah. Good to see Catherine Grant. Lily Reddick, thank you, Lily, for joining us. Elsie Bailey is on. Thank you, Jacqueline Grant. Hello. Gloria Humans, thank you so much. Ed Beatty, good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Christina Peterman is on. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. We're glad to have you on with us. And thank you for telling me I look sharp. I feel pretty good about myself as well. And Ed, you are very, very welcome. Marsha Lieberman, Mama Marsha, good to see you. And Shauna, I do know my big brother loved black. Patricia, thank you again for joining us. Georgia Davis, Terica Tapley is on as well. Again, it's Friday. Y'all know what happens on Friday. Good to see Lou Phelps on. If it's Friday, you know, first thing we want you to do, we want you to like the page, right? Go ahead and like the page. Like this page. You should make sure you are following and liking Mayor Johnson. Now, some of y'all get on, but y'all not liking my page. All right, that's kind of like dating me, but not like putting no food in the house. Okay, go ahead and like it. Okay, good to see Shannon Moss on. Good to see you. Thank you, Mama Charlotte. So go ahead and like the page. Then, secondly, we want you to share the page, right? And then, as we always do, we send out love to our girl Tara. And so you all know what that means. We are Tara Strong, and so we send out our love, prayers, admiration, good wishes to her. And so we do this because we know that prayers work, right? And we believe in prayers, we believe in well wishes and all of that. So thank you, Leonard Young. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you on with us. So we all send out that love. And so then, in addition to that, we send out love for our lupus warriors, for those who have lupus, but lupus does not have them. So go ahead and send that out as well. Send that out. And then, of course, for those who are dealing with multiple sclerosis, we send it out as well. Good to see Dr. Pete Silver on from Goldsboro, North Carolina. And just so that all of you know, Mrs. Silver did take care of business. All right, this goes back to the Father's Day conversation, in which, you know, she didn't fully deliver on Father's Day like we thought she would, but she came through in a big, big way. So shouts out to Mrs. Silver, and we thank you for taking care of our leader, Dr. Pete Silver. Robert Richards, good evening. Thank you for joining us. And then, of course, we send out love, finally, to those that are dealing with multiple sclerosis. Good to see you, Joan. Multiple sclerosis. So we send all of that out. And we thank you for doing that. Go ahead and let's get that in and through. All right. Come on, go ahead and get that in. Let's get that in. And then, as you all know, our Friday Night Live is officially an institution, right? So thank you for doing that. Thank you all for showing love. Joya Dinkins is on with us. Richard Dinkins is on with us. So good to see the family that watches Friday Night Live together stays together. And then I want to thank you because we have been on this journey. We have been on this journey today. Exactly 224 weeks. Every single Friday night, no matter where I am, no matter where you are. The Tillmans were in Africa. I was in Africa. I was in Berlin, Germany. I was in somewhere else. I was in Ireland. But Friday night comes. It's always Friday night in Savannah. When it's Friday night, we're together. 224 weeks, 1,569 days, 4 years and 3 months, or for 51 straight months. Every single Friday, no matter where I am, no matter where you are, we are together. We have built community. We built community right from the city called Savannah, Georgia. And every single Friday night we have gotten together. And for those of you that know me, for the last 224 weeks, nothing has gotten in the way of Friday Night Live. No matter where I am, we're going to be together. And so last Friday, I could not get away. It was Earlene Wesley Davis' retirement, and I was the MC, and it was getting a little late. And I said, well, guess what? Y'all going to be there too. And I thank Mrs. Silver listening, and we appreciate her again taking care of our leader. We need him to be healthy. And hey, Stephen Smith, good to see you. Thank you, Asia. Good to see you. Yeah, we can't stop. We can't stop. We're not going to stop. And a lot to talk about. So I'm outside. That's where I am. I finally decided for me that self-care was not selfish, and I needed a chance to get away, and I got away. And so I'm in these streets, in a city somewhere, out enjoying myself today. Dina, good to see you as well. Hey, Alderwoman Linda Wilder Bryan, 3rd District Alderwoman, my sister and friend. Good to see you, Trish, as well. Hey, Trish, where's Chad? But self-care is not selfish, and I just needed to just do. I mean, it's always something, and so I mean, I just needed to disconnect. So for really the first time in about 5 years, I just did it. I mean, and so I've had a wonderful time today, doing stuff that I was grown enough to do, and at an event tonight, celebrating one of my friends. Good to see you, Raymond Fuller Jr. And then I was at the event, like turning up and enjoying myself. And I said, wait, hold up. Hey, it's 9 o'clock. And I said, I got to go. They're like, why? I'm like, because it's Friday night and Friday Night Live. So, party stopped. I just got up. I was out. Trish is with their son and girlfriend, teaching them how to purchase car insurance. Trish, chat knows you don't buy insurance at 9 o'clock on Friday nights, right? You don't do that. You don't do it. But yeah, it's Friday night, and the feeling is right. And when it's Friday night, then that's what we're going to do, because we have built community. So a lot to talk about. Yesterday was our Independence Day, and people out there enjoying themselves. I will still tell you that celebratory gunfire is stupid. STOOPID. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Patricia. And so I've gotten some contacts or incidents where people have been reaching out to me. Good to see you, William Eason. Good to see you, sir. Where bullets were coming in into their windows and hitting cars and stuff, because some fool decides they want to get out there and shoot guns. That is stupid. What goes up must come down, and you cannot control where it comes down. And so, there go chat. All right, see, Trish, see how quickly you were able to find chat. See, chat, I knew you wouldn't let me down, brother. I knew you would. But yeah, and even the fireworks. I mean, people want to be out here with fireworks, doing all this kind of stuff with fireworks, which is fine. Good to see you, Gail. But we also know that the state law says at some point you have to stop, and we want you to be considerate of those people who have PTSD, those that have babies, those that are elderly, those that have pets. It drives them crazy. And some people unfortunately don't really care. and they continue to blow them. So, um, that's just not right. Margie, good to see you. And so we have been trying to deal with those issues as we've been able to deal with those issues. It's not good. It's not neighborly. It's certainly not safe to be able to do that. What do you celebrate with fireworks at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning? So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I also did not get a chance to talk about some of the other more salient things that were happening in our world. One of them was not last Friday, but the Friday before. Our city council decided to keep the Johnny Mercer Theater, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep the Johnny Mercer Theater. It was not a decision that we took lightly, but I do think it was a decision that we felt was the best balance. There were people who wanted things to be their way, and everybody can't get everything their way all the time. But for us, it is what is the public good. Good to see you, Gail. Good to see Margie on. Harry Thompson, good to see you. Angela, good to see you. Thank you, Marjorie. Wow. The Jermaine Reed from Kansas City, Missouri is on. Good to see you. As well, C. Nicole Sanders, thank you. Good to see you, Mrs. Tillman. Trisha, I appreciate you. Yeah, it is a once in a century decision. Because the reality is, good to see you, Vanny. There were people who felt one way but didn't care about anything else. And I think for us, good to see you, Julia. Good to see you, Loto. We have to be concerned about everybody. The Oglethorpe plan was a very good plan. But I think that when Oglethorpe came here and he crafted what is known as the Oglethorpe plan, he certainly did not anticipate that this city would one day have 150,000 people and have 16 million visitors. I'm sure he didn't even conceive that. And so there are people who feel like we should have the Oglethorpe plan above everything else, but then they're not concerned about where people live, or where people recreate, or where we carry out our business. And I'm sorry, but I'm just not, for me, I can't put it in the context, it could be somewhere else. Just put it somewhere else. Just build it somewhere else at some other time. No, that's not what we're charged to do. It's easy for people who are not responsible for those decisions to say, let's just do it somewhere else at some other time. We're responsible for creating decisions. And so for us, that's, I think we'll restore a significant part of the Oglethorpe plan. We'll restore some of the trust lots and tithing lots. We'll be able to reconnect some of the traffic there. So I think that's a win-win. But then we also need an arena, a theater. Many of you have gone to the Civic Center Theater for a whole bunch of stuff. It means a lot for me because both of my college graduations were in the Johnny Mercer Theater. My bachelor's and my master's were in the Johnny Mercer Theater. We've had funerals there. We've done Broadway plays there. We've done meetings there. We've done our inaugurations there. This is the space that we use, and it is probably the singular most equity space in our city. Good to see Coach Cassell Bell from Jacksonville, Florida on. Thank you, Catherine Grant. It is a place where people are able to come. Everybody can't go to or have the means to afford the in-market arena. But if there's anybody from Patti LaBelle to spoken word to comedy, good to see you, Cheryl. Hello, Reba. You get to go to the, good to see you, Arlene Hines. You get to go to the Savannah Civic Center, to Johnny Mercer Theater, to be able to see that. So you know, we're charged with making those hard decisions, and so, we know some people are going to be pissed off about it, and we're sorry. But now we have to get upon the harder work of actually determining how we do it. And the fact is, we're going to have to raise that money, and the city will put in its part. We're going to seek private donations, and we're going to seek philanthropic donations. And I'm not going to half do it. And if we're going to half do it, I'd rather rip it down myself. So, those who from the arts community who is so those from the arts community that was so adamant about keeping it, now it's time to put some money up to help us to keep it and do it in a way that makes sense. So we will be calling on you and be asking you to help us to maintain it, and that's what we're looking forward to. So we're gonna raise this money to help this and do this thing right. Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Also, good to see Laura Renee Smith on. We don't know if there are grants available. We'll find out though as we move through this process. Barbara Kaufman, did I see your name? Of course I saw your name, Barbara Kaufman, on from a different city. I don't know where she was, but we did see you, Mama Barbara. We did see you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Also wanted to talk about this week. I had representatives from HUD here in Savannah, the Housing and Urban Development Division of the United States Government, Region 4. I had the regional administrator, the deputy regional administrator, and the Georgia State Director in Savannah for 2.5 days. I had opportunity to help them focus a day to see some of our assets as it relates to low-income housing. And so I wanted them to see Yamacraw. I took them to Yamacraw, and we went up in a few of the apartment. I wanted them to see about what we were dealing with that. We took them to Stillwell Towers so they could see some of that. We took them to Savannah Gardens, where they were able to see someone who was able to buy their own first home. We took them to the tiny colleges, tiny houses, so they could see those places as well. Good to see Idell. And again, we want them to see some of the challenges that we deal with. And the fact is that relationships matter. And so we had them for 2 days. We were excited to have them. And hopefully they have a better idea of the work that we're doing, particularly in homelessness and affordable housing, to help people to get to where it is they want to be. So we spent some time doing that, and that was like really, really good. We've had some issues with some officer-involved shootings lately, and as you all know, that and I can tell you, being a former police officer, the thing we don't want, no police officer. Cheryl, you are forgiven. Although you were late, we see you sneaking in the back door, but you're good. But the last thing we would want is for any officer to have to pull and then use his firearm, which we would call a use of deadly force. Good to see you, Jennifer. Hope you're doing well. But we've had those incidents lately where you have folks shooting at police officers. And thank you, Cheryl Harris, and I appreciate Jacqueline Grant more than you know. Thank you, Jacqueline Grant. I appreciate you. But yeah, you don't shoot at police officers. You play dumb games, you get dumb prizes. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. Good to see you. Red Strawberries. That's just stupid. Don't shoot at police officers. Don't shoot at police officers because you're going to get shot. And so we've had two of those incidents to occur. The GBI is investigating both of them because that's what they do. And so, if our officers acted appropriately, then, we'll stand behind our officers. But you don't shoot at police officers. So for those who want to live in that life and in that space and do those types of stupid things, then dumb things are going to happen to you. You're going to get shot. Not only would you get shot, you're going to get charged. So we'll see where all of that goes. Good to see Marcia on with us, and Angela is on with us, and going to Ernestine. On Tuesday, we held our first Savannah PM. And so this was an idea that I had because, we operate. Good to see you, Lisa. Good to see you, Willie. We have offices that are open Monday to Friday from 8 to 5. Good to see you, Mary Helen. But we also know that everybody can't get there from 8 to 5. If you work in a hospital or a school, you may not get off. Thank you, Miss Jean. You can't get off in time. So I had this idea. It's like, why don't we open up the city? And so you could really literally go to the Savannah Civic Center. It's a Civic Center, right? And every city department was there at the same time. So if you had issues with your water bill, you can have it get addressed. If you had issues with park and tree or with zoning or issues with police and fire, all our city departments were there. It turned out to be really, really nice. It was very well attended, and we're going to do it again. We don't close at 5 o'clock, and so we want our residents to have the opportunity to interact directly with our staff. And so it was really, really, it was good. I think the staff really enjoyed it, being able to interact. They had, swag for the kids. And, I think that is what the sanitation was there. You had a chance to ask those questions. So, Trish, yeah, we're going to try to see how it goes. We'll probably do another one in the fall because, summertime, people are just not going to come. But, we hope to do it in the fall. And when we do, I hope that y'all will come. But it was really, really good. Lynn, good to see you. And it's okay that you're late. We love seeing you. So I think that was it. Oh, and then on, was it Monday? I was with Linda Wilder Bryan. We're out there in District 3, and she will so fondly say in District 3, where we were able to cut the ribbon on Phase 2B of the Tide to Town, trail. And I think that was a cool thing because we're able to continue to provide some connectivity around the city where you can walk to where you want to go. And so, Ernestine, hey Ernestine, I promoted it. Now it was on my page, and we promoted it, and all the news promoted it. But we'll do a better job. But yeah, it's exciting. We're moving along, y'all. We are moving along. So I will tell you this, and then I'll open up for questions. We are starting our millage discussions. And so for our millage discussions, wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Mario says someone very close to you was just diagnosed. Well, see, Mario, that's why we send our love to people that do that. So thank you. Gene says that Pro Tem Shabazz did an excellent job. Thank you very much. Hey, Miss Beatrice, hope you're doing well as well. But what was I talking about? Y'all got me off my train of thought. Um, what was I talking about? Y'all gonna have to remind me. I usually can keep track, but I was talking about something and I got right off of it. So if any of y'all can remember what I was just talking about just before I got that, um, Robert, I hope so as well. What was I talking about? Any of y'all remember? Connectivity. I was talking about connectivity, but I was talking about something else. I thought I moved off connectivity. The millage. Thank you. So, um, every year we look at some choices that we have to either maintain our millage rate or to reduce our millage rate or to increase our millage rate. Um, thank you all. Look at y'all. Y'all look at y'all reminding me, making sure I keep my sense. Thank you. Um, let me see. Good to see you. Um, Good to see you, Miss Marion, cousin Marion. Hope you're doing well. And so we are proposing to maintain the millage rate at the same 12.2 mils that it is right now. We've had the same millage rate for the last couple of years, and it's the lowest millage rate we've had since 1987. We have realized some growth over the last year of evaluation. We want to reinvest the growth into the organization. Our police and our firefighters, um, in particular, we want to invest in pay raises for them so that we're able to remain competitive and keep the best and brightest on. Um, and so that's what we plan to do. And then council's been very aggressive about talking about traffic calming and slowing cars down. And so we want to use some of those funds for doing that, and then some of the funds for some drainage. Um, hey, Patricia Stoney is on here. Stoney, um, Miss Patricia is asking about you. Stoney's on there somewhere. So um, that's what we're looking at doing. I mean, some people, good to see you, Lorena. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Kathy. Um, some of the cities in Chatham County have raised their millage, right? Um, and we want to continue to be wise with the investments we have. I think it's important. We can reduce the millage, but sometimes reducing the millage is not worth the investments that people want. So I think when you get overages, then you reinvest the overages in your organization. And so good to see you, Deborah Fields, Houston. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Marjorie, for that as well. I think, again, it's just very important for us to do that. So we'll start public hearings next week. But, I think that, we need to continue to be aggressive about taking care of our first responders. Um, I think it's important for us to really engage in heavy traffic calming, slowing some of these cars down throughout our city, particularly in neighborhoods, particularly around schools, particularly around playgrounds. As you know, we had an incident where a Savannah police officer hit and killed somebody on Abercorn Street earlier this week. The GBI is investigating that as well. We have to get to zero vehicle fatalities and injuries. Okay, and so that is what we need to do. Hey, Sean and Alicia, good to see you. Um, so, so we want to engage in doing that. So, um, and then Linda wants to talk about the top 10 list. Well, what we're finding lately, I mean, the people we're engaging are people who should be locked up in the first place. I mean, the guy that we had, the officer involved shooting who shot at police on Victory Drive, I mean, he was out on another charge. The guy who was shooting in Ellis Square, they were out on other charges. I mean, you know, the fact is that people who are, thank you, Dr. Young, I appreciate that. Um, you know, people who are out on our streets who have shown a propensity to be violent and engage in violent behavior is a danger to all of us. And so, um, you know, I believe that if I put their names and faces out there, oh, y'all will tell us where they are because you want to be safe too. Because you know if they're around you and they're living in that kind of life and they're around you, then they're putting your life in danger too. And so we're going to start putting those names and faces out. And I want you to tell me where they are. And let's bring them in. And, we just want to talk to them. Now, if they got charges on them, that's something different. But they just don't need to be on our streets. And so we know that people who are engaged in violent behavior have the propensity to be engaged in violent behavior again. So for every shooter, every person that's engaged in gunplay, when they have the opportunity to be out, they will do it again. So let's be clear about that. Good to see my sweetheart, the 65th mayor of our city, Representative Edna Branch Jackson. Good to see you, ma'am. Hope you are doing well. But yeah, I mean, these folks are, Cheryl, thank you. They are a hazard to everybody, And so I want to know who they are. Erica Kane, good to see you. Everybody, we may not want to arrest them. Some of them we just might want to talk to. Sure. And so some might have information about stuff that we want to have information on. And I have enough faith in this city to believe that if we put their faces out there, y'all going to tell. Y'all are going to tell. Now, I grew up at a time where if it was my face on there, my parents would have turned me in. Hey, good to see you, Pinky. Thank you, Miss Carolyn. I appreciate you. They would have told on me. All right, good to see you, Cynthia Frazier. And so we're going to engage in a little community policing, but community policing from the community and not community policing from the police. We are going to turn these folks in. Because I'm telling you that if you know who these people are and you're harboring them, right? If you're hiding them, then you are just as guilty as they are. You can go to church, shout, scream, foam from the mouth, shout hallelujah all you want to. But if you're harboring a felon, then you are just as bad as they are. Mary Helen, Senior Citizens Incorporated is giving out They're giving fans senior citizens, but yeah, we're not doing that. Some may not even know they're wanted. Well, they're gonna know they wanted, and so my thought is when we put your name and we put your face out there, all I want you to do is go in there, walk in there like the man that you are, and say, I'm so and so. What do you want? I would much rather you do that than us come out and get you. And again, I believe enough in Savannah to believe that people in Savannah are tired of these incidents of gun violence and they want it to end, and they're going to do what they do. Sarah Stevens is on Liberty City's finest and Liberty County's finest, but she's not in Liberty City or Liberty County. She is in Nashville, Tennessee for the Delta Sigma Theta 49th Southern Regional Conference. I've heard that Nashville is being taken over by the Deltas. They are killing it in Nashville. And so I hope that you all are behaving yourselves. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. Thank you. The community may not know they want it. Right, exactly. But that's why we're going to engage them in that way. And we're going to insist that people that need to be prosecuted are prosecuted, and we're going to insist that people get stiffer sentences. because the fact is some of these folks are not getting it. And the thing about it is they make it bad on everybody. I mean, obviously you got the blessing of getting bond or getting parole or getting probation, and then you out here acting the doggone fool. So, hey, good to see you, Step. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. So, I don't know if you have any questions for me. Sarah would like to see a DA that will hold violent criminals accountable and responsible. Hey, I agree. Good to see Pastor Kenny Roche, my big brother. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. But if there are any questions, anything I can answer, go ahead and do that. Lynn, our city attorney. So what Lynn is wondering is how we hired a U.S. attorney. We hired a Savannah City attorney to work in the U.S. Attorney's office. And so far it has worked very well for us. She has been there for, I'm thinking, like 2 years. Actually, we just upped her for another amount of time, and it has gone really well. As a matter of fact, the truth is, I'm just looking up to make sure. So far, we hired her in 2022. She has led 7 major indictments since she started in 2022, all related to illegal gun possession. She's also had 13 guilty pleas to federal firearm violations. And so she has about 40 investigations going on right now. I believe that she's going to also be prosecuting some of the folks with the Ellis Square shooting. And so she has been going hard, and we're serious about it. So Trish wants to know, how am I doing? My mom is doing okay. I talked to her this week. I just need to find some time to get up there and get on her nerves, but I plan to do that. So just stay tuned. Oglethorpe Mall, well, they're building houses. So Oglethorpe Mall is fine. Actually, they ripped down Golden Corral, which I hated. I liked Golden Corral, but they ripped down Golden Corral, and they are putting some residents over there, some housing over there. So that's what they're doing. Good to see you, Carrie Lawson. Good night, Joan. Any other questions? Anything else I can answer for you? Thank you, Miss Sean Alicia. I hope that you are doing well. Lynn wants to know, how is Max? Max is doing fine. Matter of fact, there have been some folks doing some work in the house, and I called my mother, and Max was giving it to him too. Giving it to him. Max don't play. See, Max, in Max's spirit, Max is a big dog, right? Max is not that big, but in Max's heart, Max is big. Pastor Roche, what are the possibilities on the table for the space where the Civic Center Arena is? Right now, we're not at that space. Right now, we said we're going to restore some of the trust lots, some of the tithing lots, some of the street grid that was there before. What we're going to actually put on there, that's a decision point we're going to have to get to, and we'll be engaging the community about what should go there. What the decision we had to make right now was what we do with it. Do we knock it down or what? So I think we're open to possibilities, provided they fall within the Oglethorpe plan. So I hope that answers your question. Trish, thank you very much. Will the city get better medical insurance? This insurance copay is breaking you. You need a second job just to pay your copay. I don't know. I mean, I have the same insurance. I mean, it was like $15, I think. I mean, well, it's just me, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. The question is, based on your personal situation, is it the better insurance, or just the copay is high, which is based on your family situation? And that part I don't know. Um, you know, I don't know. My copay is, what I copay. Um, you know, I don't know, but you can certainly call human resources to be able to check. I don't know how many people are on your plan, and so I think it depends on all of that. Aviana just to show me her new hair. Um, I don't see. You have to take a picture and send it to me so I can see her new hair. I want to see her new hair. Uh, is there a curfew for fireworks? Yes, fireworks is supposed to end on at midnight. Um, if it's still happening, I think you should call 911 and report it, particularly if it's close by you. It's kind of hard if it's further, right? Um, so, yeah. When will the remodeling be complete in City Hall? We anticipate once we move out of it, and again, City Council for about 7 months will not meet in City Council. We'll be meeting somewhere else. Um, and we figure it'll take about 7 months for us to get it all done. So, 7 months from the fall? So, um, maybe mid spring next year, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. Um, Thomas Hart, how will Dr. King's name be preserved? Um, Probably that the center will be named for Dr. King. I mean, that's pretty simple. We can keep the Johnny Mercer Theater, and remember the Civic Center is bigger than the Johnny Mercer Theater and Martin Luther King Arena. We can name it the King Civic Center. So that's pretty simple. Um, Thank you, Miss Ernestine. I appreciate that. State laws, midnight, right, right, right. STVRs, we have now new software to help us to crack down on short-term vacation rentals. That's like the Airbnbs and stuff. And people, you like Airbnbs when you go to other people's cities, but Airbnbs are not good in your city. Um, Airbnbs drive up the price of housing. Airbnb limits the number of available and affordable housing. Um, and no one wants to live in a place full of hotel rooms, and that's where Airbnbs are. And so I think we have a good plan to be able to address them and deal with them. It's been very challenging about how we deal with them otherwise. So better insurance. No, ma'am, Miss Ernestine, I get the same insurance everybody gets too. I am a covered life. I pay the same rates as everybody pays, and I probably make less money than you do. Yeah, I know. I probably do. But anyway, I digress. Um, yeah. All right. See, so there goes Trisha's helping you out. And you have the highest plan. Well, see, that's why, Ernest, you have the highest plan. Maybe if you got the lower plan, maybe the lower plan might be a lower copay. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Um, Sarah says the Dr. King Center. Right. I mean, right. Right. It'll be something. Um, Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Solid Witness Works. Patty, where you been, Patty? Trish wants to know about rental prices in Savannah. We don't control it. In Georgia, Georgia is what's known as a very strong property rights state, and Georgia's position is as long as you have a willing buyer and a willing seller, um, you can sell your property for what you want to sell it for. And so uh, this is a totally market driven situation. People who own houses are able to sell them at the prices they want, and the people who are able to buy them are setting the rents they want to be able to do. So um, I don't think it's right necessarily or fair. I think it needs to be some predictability as it comes to that, but that's driven by state law. So It is creating some of our housing crisis that we have, not only in Savannah but across the state. And so we continue to talk with our um, state partners on that. We introduced some legislation and last year, and it didn't go anywhere. Sarah wants to know what is going on with that storage unit. Uh, don't do it. I don't know about that. All I know is that when it comes before City Council, we will hear the evidence, and when we hear the evidence, then the council will make a decision. Um, it's not really appropriate for us to comment on something that's coming before us. So I'll just say, when we hear the evidence and we see what it said, then we'll make a decision. Ernestine, are we going to enforce the law about a landlord wanting to get 3 times their rent? I am not familiar with a law that says that a landlord can't get 3 times their rent. I'm not familiar with it. Thank you, Trish. Thank you. Why don't you reach out to her? Reach out to her and see how you can. Thanks. Thank you, Miss Linda. I appreciate you. Patty is healing. Well, Patty, let me give you some love. And yes, we do pray for our president. Is there money for eviction prevention? Not from the city of Savannah. During COVID, we put in a lot of money to stop people from being evicted. Um, so we don't do that now. We have some nonprofits that do that. But to be honest, they also look to see, if you're not going to be evicted this month, but you're going to be evicted next month, that may not be necessarily the best use of their funds. But the city doesn't do it. But I think you can call 211, which is United Way, and there are some people who do that. So Marcia says we don't need another storage unit. Again, I will say I will wait and see till I hear it. Deborah says, yes, Lord. Mary, thank you. Good to see you. Faye Damasio, hope you are doing well. And thank you, Patricia. Same thing, Jeanette. It's the same thing. There are nonprofits that help with that. The city government doesn't necessarily do money for eviction prevention because eviction is a function of the county and not the city. So no, we don't do funds like that, but we do fund nonprofits that help with that. And Linda has been on with public hearings. In Atlanta, 19,000 single-family homes are owned by 3 investment firms. Is there a way to stop corporations from buying up properties? This is totally a state issue. We can do nothing about it. This is totally, absolutely the state. And you have state representatives and state senators that are up for election right now. And so I don't think it's right, but that's what they do. Good to see you, Royce. Bill or something went effect July 1st. I don't know about it, but I'll look into it. We do pray for Jamaica. Robert, I want a Golden Corral back too. You know how many times I used to go eat at Golden Corral? I would go sometimes on fish and I would barbecue. I get some steak. Hey, Golden Corral was all right. Any plans for Hutchinson Island? There are a lot of plans for Hutchinson Island. And if you look, Hutchinson Island is out there growing. There's housing going on out there. There's businesses and stuff going on over there. So a lot going on over there in Hutchinson Island. When you get a chance to go around there, it is really starting to grow now. And Rachel, yeah, there are a lot of storage units. Okay. All right, so good. Sarah's going to get on the horn Monday about changing laws. Yeah, we were putting up some legislation, but legislation about housing really didn't go much of anywhere. Didn't mean we didn't try. So, yep. So anyway, Thank you, Trish. I appreciate that. As you can see, I got on my suit and tie. I'm outside tonight. I am taking a well-deserved break. I am going to turn up. The house is on fire, and we don't need no water. I'm gonna let it burn, burn. Get myself right, um, and I'm gonna be grown. And I'm gonna stay outside, and I'm gonna enjoy myself, and you know, go where the folks are. Thank Miss Deborah told me to be safe, but because it is Friday night, you see I got my ginger ale. Tamika the Grinder is on. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Shawnee. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Miss Mary. Um, it's on. It's on. I am going to be grown, grown, grown. And I appreciate you all for joining me because it's still Friday night. Terica, I love you too. I love you too. And I will see you next week. Have a good week. And hey, it's kind of hot out there. So make sure you take care of yourself. All right. God bless. Have a good night.